Good afternoon everyone, Tim from Bozzy Garage, and today we're talking about Apple Carplay and Android Auto, but particularly how to get a wireless connection happening. What if you have a slightly older car which already has Apple Carplay, which already has Android Auto, but only wired? Or what if you had an aftermarket head unit, whether it be Alpine, Sony, Kenwood, Pioneer, JVC, whatever? What if you had Android Auto and CarPlay on that unit already, but only through a wire? Is there a way that you can get rid of that wire? I've tested a lot of wireless CarPlay and Android Auto adapters, and what I'm hoping is that the newest one I'm testing today is going to be maybe the best budget one that you can get. You can order it directly using my link below. If you use my coupon code, you get 10% off as well. The manufacturer of this one is ZHNN. I got delivery from China in 4 days, and it promises to convert an existing wired Apple CarPlay and existing wired Android Auto into a wireless solution. This is important to note. If your stereo doesn't already support CarPlay, if it doesn't already support Android Auto, this will not magically give you that ability. It only converts an existing wired connection into a wireless connection. In the rest of the box, two cables. One cable is USB-A to USB-C, and the other one is USB-C to USB-C. Suitable car type, suitable phone type. Now here it does say wireless CarPlay, iPhone 6 and above, and also wireless Android Auto. Instruction manual here. I'm going to connect this up to my power bank, fire it up. Now the important thing about any wireless adapter I've found, and this is about the 8th one I've tested, is to make sure that the unit itself has some adjustability. For example, the most important one I found so far to adjust is the turn-on delay. Some cars are active all the time. Some cars, they only send power to your connection 5, 10, 20, 30 seconds after the car's turned on. And if this turns on first, before your car's Android Auto or CarPlay has had a chance to turn on, it ain't going to work. It might work the first time you plug it in, but it won't work the second time, the third time. You have to keep plugging in, unplugging it, which is kind of defeating the purpose of having a wireless connection. So we've powered up the wireless unit using my power bank here. We're going to connect to the Wi-Fi generated by the wireless unit, which is that one there. What's the password? You know, most of the time it's something pretty simple like that. Let's see. Hey, there we go. Now it says connected, no internet access. That's fine, don't worry about that. We're going to go to entering the IP address of the Wi-Fi unit, 192.168.1101. So this gives you all the information that you need to know about the wireless unit. Important stuff, because it will tell you what you can actually adjust. Version number, I don't know anything about that. Startup delay, fantastic. Unlike a lot of the very, very cheap and nasty units you get for $10, $20 off the internet, this one allows you to program a startup delay. If we touch that button there, what range of options do we get? 5, 10, 15, 20, fantastic. Generally, I'm going to start at 20-second delay. You can also upgrade the phone to, I'm not going to bother with that, but the main thing is we've changed the startup delay to 20 seconds. Now that we've done that, I'm going to test this unit in two different cars. I'm going to test it in my wife's MG4, which has wired CarPlay, wired Android Auto. We'll see if that works. Then I'm going to test this unit on my Mercedes, which has a JVC CarPlay, Android Auto, but wired only. And we're going to see if this allows it to work in both cars. The most important thing though is to make sure it works, but keeps on working once you've turned the car off and turned the car back on again. Let's test the wireless adapter in a 2023 MG4, which has wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto only. We've got our unit here with a USB-A cable. We'll plug that into the socket underneath where you normally plug a connector into. As you can see, one solid light means that there is power going to the unit. We will check that we've got a connection to the the Bluetooth unit. There we go. That one. BINIZECOM. That is the wireless unit there. Once that connects, only says connecting. It's not ready yet. Now it says Android Auto is available. Check on your car screen, looking for Android Auto. Ain't that always the way? I put the phone down for 1 second, and guess what? We've got wireless Android Auto working using this little connector here. It did take quite a while, but again, the very first time you plug a unit in, that's when it's got to figure everything out, and I'm hoping that in the future it won't take quite as long. So we've got TuneIn Radio there, we've got Google Map there. You can just use it as you would any other regular wired Android Auto connection. So that seems to work. We've got a blinking light there, which is pretty good, and we are not connected by any cable, as you can see. So the real question now is though, let's step out of the car for a moment. There we go. Lock the car. We've waited 10 minutes for a cold restart. The unit is still plugged in there. Hopefully with our 20-second delay still in place, it's powered on. I've had good luck with 20-second delays in other wireless units, well, one other anyway. So again, we just wait until we get a connection happening. At the moment, we've got a solid no, we've got a blinking light, and let's see if we get our wireless Android Auto working again. There we go. We've got our wireless Android Auto working. Second time around, without having to unplug and replug anything. Fantastic. Very happy with that. So if we zoom in a little bit, we can see we've got all the apps that we wouldn't have on our phone as usual. We've got radio, would have Spotify, anything that you'd want. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to grab my wife's iPhone. We're going to make sure that CarPlay works as well. Bluetooth connection, something, turn that back on. There we go. Bluetooth pairing request, sure, why not? Something's happening. Here we go. Use CarPlay. Automatically connects to your iPhone to the car's built-in display. Of course we want to use it. There we go. Look at that. So we've got wireless CarPlay working on our adapter. The first time that you connect your phone to the adapter, it takes a while. It just does. And it happens with all the wireless units that I've tested. But once it's connected, future reconnecting is actually very, very quick. How's the responsiveness? Pretty nice. Just like any wide connection that I've used before, where I've got all the apps that you'd expect to see which support CarPlay. Don't forget, just a minute ago I was using my Android phone with this. So this unit by ZHNN, it does support both CarPlay and Android Auto as you'd expect. Good job. So that is how it works with integrating the wireless adapter into a factory unit, which is normally wired only, the ZHNN wireless adapter. So now that we've tested it in the MG3, we're going to have a look at how the ZHNN wireless adapter works on an aftermarket Apple Carplay and Android Auto unit. We're going to try it in my CLK. One thing I've figured out here is that you have to disconnect, like this phone was already paired to Bluetooth to that unit, but you can't pair it to both at the same time. So I've had to disconnect the Bluetooth connection to that. I'm going to repair it to my wireless adapter. And once it's all connected, here we go. Wireless Android Auto is available. It pops up straight away. And there we go. We have our wireless Android Auto connection working just fine. So if you're having problems connecting your phone to a wireless connection, make sure you've disconnected and forgotten any existing Bluetooth connection to that existing head unit. My phone anyway, it can only do one, and it was always preferencing that one, not that one. So now that I've disconnected it, it'll always connect via the wireless unit. Very quick, as you can see. Fantastic. So the ZHNN unit, I can confirm that it actually works on an aftermarket stereo like this JVC unit here. And again, because you can adjust so many settings here going through the options screen, I'm still using the 20-second delay that I used for the MG4, but it works just fine. Love having a wireless connection. I can just walk in, and every time I connected it, I'd always leave the phone connected and leave it in the car somewhere. So I'm much happier to leave it in my pocket or wherever where I won't forget it. So that's my review of the ZHNN wireless adapter to get yourself wireless Apple Carplay and wireless Android Auto. As you can see, we've unboxed it, we've done a walkthrough on how to set it up using the options screen, we've tested it in the MG4 electric car, converted that from a wired only connection to a wireless connection for both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and most importantly, by programming the startup delay, we can leave the unit connected in there and it will continue to work even after you've turned the car off and back on again without having to plug and replug the unit back in. I've also shown you how it works on my Mercedes CLK with an aftermarket JVC head unit. Same story, it's converted the wired connection into a wireless connection for both CarPlay and Android Auto. Really happy with how it works. Improves quality of life dramatically. Really good bargain if you look at the price, and if you click the link here or in the description below, and if you use my coupon code, you can get an extra 10% off, I believe, on this unit delivered anywhere in the world. I got it in 4 days delivered out of China. So yeah, that's how it works. If you have any questions about the setup of it or anything, go back to the earlier part of the video where I showed you how to log into the unit and adjust all the settings. Try playing about with the startup delay. I personally believe that's really the most common problem that you'll get, regardless of what brand that you're using this wireless unit with, whether it's an MG, a Toyota, a Nissan, anything like that. Try increasing the startup delay to something quite large, like maybe a minute, and if that works to solve your problem, then slowly decrease the startup delay until it gets to a number that works for you. 20 seconds seems to be my sweet spot, but it might be different for you, so don't be afraid to experiment. It just takes a little bit of your time, and if it works, you'll be amazed and you'll wonder, why didn't I do this earlier? Anyway, I'm Tim from Bozu Garage, bringing you lots of DIYs, wireless Android Auto and CarPlay reviews, car stereos, reversing cameras, EV reviews, DIY projects, fixing everything, whatever I've got time for. Put a comment below if you wanted a particular topic covered, and if I can, I will, and I'll see you in the next video.